All right, boys. Oh, you know what time it is. Buckle up. So you're probably wondering from the title, what is this dude talking about? Well, I'm going to go ahead and let this gentleman here fill you in.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. If inflation is the reason why you're struggling, you were already struggling beforehand.
Yeah,
If inflation is the reason why you're on the brink of homelessness, you were already struggling beforehand.
yeah.
It's not inflation's fault. Yeah, things are more expensive, but they're not that much more expensive.
No.
The issue is you probably have a low value, low skill job that doesn't make a lot of money,
Yeah.
and so you've always been struggling. It's not an inflation this year type thing. The
Oh,
best advice I give to people in this situation is you need different skills. That's really where it comes down to.
yeah.
You need different skills or
I don't know what this guy's smoking. Here, take a hit. Here you go, bud. But notice how he said skills, plural. Yeah, because you're going to need about 3 fucking jobs nowadays. I don't know what this guy's high on. I agree with him to an extent, but
better skills that you can trade to an employer for money. Once you do that, I guarantee you won't have a problem with inflation. Whether it's 3% like on usual years or 9%, 10% like it was the last year, you'll be fine. If inflation is the reason why it's happening, you got bigger problems.
no, it makes perfect sense. Like, my insurance didn't go up like 75% on my house. My car insurance hasn't gone up like 100% in the last like 5 years. Like, nah, what he said makes all the sense in the world. Like, no, that's good. You should go to my neighbors who all live on fixed incomes, who are all like in their 70s and 80s. Like, I live next to like a pretty elderly area. Why don't you just show up at our HOA meetings where they're raising all the HOA fees and just go, hey, look, Grandma, okay? You better bake some better cookies. You got to get some more skills here, sugar. So that's kind of, I just thought that was rich. I do agree with them, make more money, but here's another thing that he is unaware of. This is from Cornell Law School, and this is why they invented the minimum wage. Because the purpose of minimum wage, remember, this is from Cornell Law, okay? Get some better skills. The purpose for minimum wage was to stabilize the post-depression economy and protect workers in the labor force. The minimum wage was designed to create a minimum standard of living to protect the health and well-being of employees. What? Your skill set's shit? Yeah, good job. Well, I guess Cornell Law, they don't know what they're up to, so that's good. This is a great one. If you're new here, we're going to have a great time, okay? We're going to talk about this problem we're all dealing with, but we're going to have fun while we do it. This guy goes, I like to read your comments too from past videos that you guys leave. This guy goes, I'm 38. I have my degree in mechanical engineering. Shit, terrible skill set. My entire life, I have rode the wave of cost of living increases with my head just above water. Currently, I am making the most money I've ever made, but able to save the least. I am not a homeowner. Current rates and prices of housing is ludicrous. The economy doesn't work for the working class. Not anymore, at least. Well, see, that's your problem. If you would have listened to the gentleman in the beginning of the video, you needed a bunch of skills, okay? So that's where you fucked up, dude. All right? You think being an engineer is going to pay off? You guys hearing that? Sorry, that dude in the beginning just really greased me up. Like, I get it, make more money, but he's definitely blind to the fact. Tell me if I'm tripping, but 9% ain't it, daddy. All right, shit's up 100%, dog. Shit is double, triple.
Times are a-changing, ladies and gentlemen. The world that we're living in today is very different from the world we were living in 15 years ago because technology is replacing many jobs. The wealth gap is getting larger, and the middle-class lifestyle is becoming out of reach. But it's not just that. The world that we're living in is becoming more and more unaffordable. I mean, the price of gas is consistently over $4. A meal at a restaurant is now $15. And gentrification is making everything expensive. Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV.
Put a glass of whiskey down on the table. Sorry, I just had to chime in on that one.
Times are changing.
Well, apparently people's skill sets are shit, according to that guy. But that's more of a realistic approach. This one's from a gentleman from a previous video. He goes, Greetings, Red Leather Crew. If you're new here, RLP stands for Red Leather Podcast. He goes, I have reached the point where I'm no longer able to live paycheck to paycheck. Now I have to look at the bills that I can't ignore just to be able to buy food and pay rent. Wow. Who would have thought? If that's not better, why don't you just go down this guy's route here, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to choose this route.
Everything's expensive now. I've made an executive life decision. I'm going to start stealing again.
I live in Australia, and I am consistently seeing in the media stories about the record-breaking theft that is happening at grocery stores, and then seeing all of the technology that these grocery store chains are rolling out to catch people doing it. And then I'm seeing separate articles about the record-breaking profits that these grocery store chains are celebrating. And not once, and correct me if I'm wrong, send it my way to like give me some fucking hope for journalism these days, but not once have I seen a story, I don't know, pair these two together and maybe ask the question, why are people resorting to thievery, to potentially altering the course of their lives just so that they can, I don't know, eat, feed the fam? People are, risking their lives by stealing, or risking their lives by not eating enough because they can't afford to eat.
I have a serious question.
It's classic. I mean, I guess the guy in the beginning was kind of right. I guess learning how to steal is going to be a good skill set to have. This one goes, cost of living crisis in pretenders, show yourself. I don't know what that means.
You people that don't pay rent, when we're talking about the cost of living crisis, why are you acting like you can relate? Like, what? You don't pay rent, you don't pay council tax, you don't pay electricity, you don't pay water bill. What's affecting you? TFL. Get out of here, bro.
What's affecting you? The funniest part is that she doesn't realize is if they're having a hard time living for free, like, dude, come here. They're having a hard time living for free. Does anybody see what I just said? Yeah. So I think they have a right to talk about it because everybody would like to go out and move out and buy a house and all that stuff. But when you can't even afford to live for... I'm not going to say it again. I think you guys got my point. This one goes, POV. Every NYU student went to the job fair and it shut down. Oh, yeah, this is nuts. Yeah, these are the same people that this woman was just criticizing. They're trying to, man. And they can't even seem to get a fucking job.
That's a lot of young people looking for jobs right there. Thought nobody wanted to work anymore. I thought young people were lazy and they didn't want to get jobs. Thought that's what they say. What are they waiting in line for hours then?
Classic. This comment is actually not from one of my videos. I usually never do this, but this was really good. He goes, you used to have one job that paid the bills until you retired. Now you have to have one or more employed positions, run your own small business, have 3 side gigs, sell your art, slang your tits on the side, write a book. I just added the tits part. Coach your kids in a sports team, pet sit for your friends on the weekend, and rob your local convenience store to make ends meet. Yet the older generations say we're all lazy and entitled, even though it seems like they were lazy and entitled ones who had mindless employee positions. I just thought that was kind of funny because I was going to leave a comment on this person's post, kind of getting some videos. But it's true. I've always had 2 jobs. Okay, I'm 33, and it's only gotten harder as I've gotten older. Technically, I have 3 incomes right now, and I rent out rooms in my house. Like, dude, I'm going the extra mile, baby. But my skill set sucks, so what are you going to do? This guy goes, but not everybody wants to become an influencer or a drop shipper. Some of us just want to work a normal job if it paid a livable wage. Not all of us can or want to become influencers. And he's got a great point, man.
The American dream.
I was kind of just born into this shit. I'm a comedian, if you're new here. I'm a people's church steeples kind of people, okay? I'm praying for you guys out there. But yeah, I agree with them. It shouldn't result to that. And I do have a regular job, all right? I wait tables. I bartended forever, but I've dropped down because this is starting to pay more. And but I'm still working both, and I sell stuff on fucking eBay. So yeah, I agree with that, dude. You guys leave your thoughts. Boomers used to be able to afford this nice looking house.
Dream is dead, and that's it. It's this kind of home that used to be the end goal for so many people just like me. But now these homes are selling for $655,000. But there's a whole generation that used to be able to buy something like this on a very modest income. So just like many of you, I was raised by two baby boomers who made the American dream happen.
Yeah, and it's funny. This is a perfect example because I'm actually doing this, and not by choice. It's out of I have to. So, but this house looks just like that house that guy was just showing us.
This is my house, and I pay $19.12 a month to live here.
Watch.
I moved in about July of 2021 with the idea to house hack it, and that's what I've done with every single home I've bought to this point.
So a house hack is just you rent out your bedrooms in your house. I do the same thing, but I didn't like get this place to do that. It just happened out of necessity for me and my friends who I care about.
And the way I do it is through house hacking. So I had a builder put out a walkout basement here so that I could have tenants live there. And then I had 10X builders come out. They were actually the ones that put in the basement for about $60,000. And when they came out to build it, I had them put 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, because I knew I could get higher rents. And on a midterm rental, I'm getting $2,600 a month out of it. So running the numbers on this, rents being $2,600 a month, my mortgage is $2,619.12 a month. And I would much rather be wealthy than comfortable. Most people would rather be broke and comfortable living with no people beneath them, no sharing walls with tenants, having to deal with the ins and outs of being a landlord. But I, on the other hand, would obviously rather live for free and enjoy a big backyard, lots of living space, and subsidize my housing costs.
I actually do agree with them on a lot of people want this. Like, if you're new here, I like to say the independent, I got it myself, I don't need nobody, is kind of bullshit. Especially nowadays, you're going to have to suck it up. You don't have to, but eventually you probably will. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But I do have a point. But the thing that sucks about this is it's crazy that this is what it has come to.
And as I said earlier, every house that I purchase for myself that I live in, I always house hack, no matter what. Because right now, we all know that the economy is a little bit rough. Cash flows are not as good as they used to be. So why not just find a way to house hack?
Well, your skill sets suck. I'm not the one who said it, but this person goes, from a previous video of mine, goes, people are focusing too much on the actual numbers without context. The key is to live within your means and have a balanced budget. What is insanely expensive to one can barely make a dent to someone else. Yeah, well, living below your means is becoming more and more impossible as the time goes on. This lady always comments, this is funny. She goes, and there are some universities offering content creator classes with outrageous prices. Yeah, losers. What'd you go to school for? Podcasts. Sorry, I've had a bit of a cold lately. Show must go on. This is perfect, too, because if you can't afford to buy a house and house hack it, or if your skill set just ain't up to par with today, you could do what this gentleman does. He goes, I used to spend one paycheck on rent and the other one on utilities before he moved into his car and on a tent on the weekends when he was going camping. Then to broken down motorhome. Yeah, so it looks like van life is on the rise, okay? And it's not just by accident. And it's not that people don't have skill sets. You know how many people I know, leave your thoughts on this, but there's a lot of like blue collar who, electricians, okay? You're doing construction. Maybe you're not a contractor, though. You're what else? Fucking HVAC people. They make great money, but the way shit's going, it's like you're going to tell those people, you mean to tell me you're going to look these people in the eyes and say, get a better skill set? It's a joke at this point.
Bro, you may have seen this headline floating around. 90 million American adults are struggling to make ends meet financially. The article says about 38.5% of American adults, or 89.1 million individuals, faced difficulty in paying for usual home expenses between April 26th and May 8th. Usual home expenses being things like food, not Ferraris. And a lot of people are acknowledging like a problem exists, but instead of saying, hey, why don't we pay people more money? Why don't we raise the minimum wage? Why don't we do things like institute subsidized childcare? A lot of people are like, hey, why don't you just eat less? And then these same people will turn around and be like, why aren't people having kids? Why aren't people staying loyal to jobs? I don't know. We can't afford to eat, bro. You may have...
Sorry, that was my dad. Yeah, if you're new here, thank you everybody for your support on my last video about my dad. I just had to vent. Anyways, let's get back on the video. Looking at apartments and seeing, you must make 3 times the monthly rent. It goes, please bring back $600 apartments. And the shitty thing about that is the really awful thing about that, because I own a house, I inherited a home, which I still have a mortgage, I still have property taxes, I have HOA, I have home insurance, and all of those things are like have doubled. They're like skyrocketing. So that's something a lot of people don't understand, which I didn't understand either. I didn't get it. What do I know? So like the messed up part is if your property tax and your insurance, and God forbid you have HOA, even if you didn't have a mortgage and a loan, you're still paying an astronomical amount. So now it's raised it to the point where if I were to rent out my home, I couldn't give it to you for less than like $1,200. And that's if I didn't have a mortgage and all that stuff. It would be impossible for me to do that unless I just wanted to, unless I was like your father. And I was like, here, live here for free, honey. I'll pay for everything. So that's how far it's gone. And so when I hear people like that gentleman in the beginning, like, get your skill set, it's like, dude, that right there just screams you're renting an apartment, which is no offense. I'm glad he can afford to do that. You know what I mean? Right, guys? And I'm not no shade to that guy. I just like want to think about this when people say this shit to you. It's kind of like, it's almost, you just go, what are you talking about? Like this lady, what is she talking about here? Oh, this is great.
3 things that I will not give up as the cost of living increases. Getting my hair done. I refuse to not get my hair done. The second thing that I will not give up is vacations. Your girl works 40 hours a week. I need to be able to go somewhere and blow off some steam. And
yo, you can go on vacations all you want, but you ain't allowed to bitch about cost of living. I'm sorry. Okay? This is one of my favorites. This chick that I worked with, she starts crying one day because she got accused of stealing something. Get ready for this. This is rich. And she goes, you don't know what it's like to struggle. And I'm not kidding you. I couldn't hold my tongue. I go, didn't you just get back from a month and a half European backpack vacation? I go, people who struggle don't go on European vacations. That's the best when somebody cries to me because they're going on a vacation to New York and they can't afford their rent. It's like, you can go do that all you want, but you just lost all of your abilities to bitch about struggling because, that's not how life works.
It's the cost of living in 1993.
Oh, yeah, this one was great. So for the guy who said things haven't gone up that much, let's think about the ratio here. Check this out. Get ready. You know me. I love my ratio. For you newcomers, big time ratio guy. So this one goes right here. Average income in 1993, $31,000. Okay. New car, a third of the price. A new car nowadays is more than $31,000. Fuck, even a used car that's in good condition is more than that, or around that price. So right there, ratios done. New house is only 4 times the price of your income. Now, you guys know how much houses are. It's more like 10 to 20 times your income. Okay, let's dig deeper here. Average rent $532 per month. So that's about what, a sixth of your income or some shit, if my math serves me right. Now it's basically half of your income nowadays. Tuition to Harvard, we're not going there. Our skill sets suck anyways, we're not getting in there. Movie ticket, wow, that's jumped up. Gasoline, holy shit. Sorry, I've been cursing a lot lately. I gotta chill on that. And who cares? No one's sending out mail anymore. I mail stuff out all the time. But point is, yeah, dude, shit hasn't gone up that much. Like, your skill set sucks. And it's getting to the point where, like, this picture here, if you're new here, I take care of my dad. But this is about 7 years ago, and he couldn't afford anything. So all I could find him, and I couldn't afford to pay for my house, his house, and your house. So I got him illegally in like a garage. That wasn't even an enclosed garage. So this is just a photo of him that I found of him in this garage. That was just awful. No AC, no nothing. It was But I mean, hey, shit, it is what it is. I mean, people are literally living in the cars and storage units. But, you know, whatever, they suck. Skill set. No, I'm just kidding. I just keep referring to the guy in the beginning. This one, though, a little motivation here. This one's from James Davey. He always comments, always leaving some good stuff in there. He left a comment. He said, I spent almost 10 years homeless. I now own he goes, now I own my own home, got kids, and life is 10 times better. He also built up 56 charges. Holy shit. That's like arrests. While I was fucked up, got myself a bad drug habit, I've managed to clean all that up now. Respect to you both. Look at where you are now. So basically, this is the first video on my channel. I interviewed this dude who went homeless for 10 years, and he's been off the streets for like 5. So moral of the story is no matter how hard things get, you know, it's like we gonna make it out. We're gonna thug it out. And I appreciate everybody that's donated as of recently. My last video about my dad, more of just event, not normal subject matter. But thanks for the $5 from DS Carbro. Thanks for the 20 from Kai Feem. Appreciate you, Robert Nieblet. The $10. Really appreciate you guys. And this dude, Smack on the Wall here, he's got a cool channel. It's all just red pill women's stuff. Hang in there, brother. You know in your heart what's best and what you need to do. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. And if you, I also started a Patreon, guys. I really don't expect a lot of people to join, but if you really want to go the extra mile, you're more than welcome to. We have 1 patron so far. I'll say her name after this comment. This one is from a gentleman. He goes, just tripped across your channel. I love it. You are a very smart, young, savvy young man. Stop. Hope life is kind to you. And by the way, he's 84 years old. Some of us old-timers still got it. Damn right. Good on you, man. I love when I see I'm going to be the coolest old guy when I get older. And shout out to my first patron, my first and only so far, Benita. Much love. She's subscribed for the $5. I got a few different tiers. Once again, just you guys being here is enough. But if you feel like going the extra mile, your pockets are deep, okay, your skill sets are on top of the world, you know, consider it. Because if you guys donate, which I always appreciate, YouTube takes half of that. So with Patreon, they take like 20%. Anyways, good talk. You guys leave your thoughts, if I'm tripping or not, on the economy. And, yeah, good talk. God, that was fun.